Hello and welcome back to another video of Brotato. Today we're continuing our guide series in the New Dawn update, and we are playing the Cryptid with a claw. Step number 1, do not break the trees, okay? This is going to be one of the most important things for this entire run, but I'll explain what our character does and why we're using the claw in a moment. Okay, so we would love to see some harvesting here. Nice, beautiful, immediately getting harvesting. And yeah, our character is pretty interesting. A lot of text here. Essentially, we have very short range, no lifesteal, we get reduced material dropped, but trees give us money and XP if we leave them alive. They also give us HP regen if we leave them alive. Plus, we get a ton of attack speed as we get more dodge, and our dodge is capped at 70% instead of 60%. So, one of the reasons we're using the claw is because it gives a lot of dodge, gives a lot of crit, and it scales with attack speed, which means the more we dodge, which is going to be very easy with this, the more we dodge, the more attack speed you get, which means it ends up dealing more damage. So it's a very nice little cycle that kind of like goes into itself and makes itself stronger. Now here early on, we do just want to roll for some items. Unfortunately, I just rolled without thinking for a second, and I spent 4 materials to get a reroll in, which is fine usually, but the thing is we didn't have enough money to actually buy the claw there, because we needed, oh no, don't break the tree. We needed 17, and yeah, even though there is inflation in the game, so like each shop gets more and more expensive, it's usually best to not roll again unless you can actually afford to buy it. Yeah, well, it's kind of more complicated than that, but okay. HP regen, crit chance. We're going to get a ton of HP regen just from having the trees down. So I'm actually going to take some crit chance. And armor, that's perfectly fine. Good. Go to take the claw. In shop number 2, you shouldn't be buying items. I have these 2 locked because I think these are good items. But I am just looking for my claws. Oh, actually rolling in the last shop was good because they're 3 material more expensive now. So I rolled for 4 and found 1. That was 17. So technically I spent 21 on this one of these claws, I guess. But it's still very cheap. And we get another claw. That is amazing. Okay, this is kind of like a great start, but at the same time, our character is very good at making money, especially early on. So as long as we don't break any of the trees, again, don't break the trees. You usually love breaking them because they give you a ton of loot crates. And technically, you could play the character in a way that it's not intended to be played by breaking all of the trees, but then you don't get any of the HP regen during the fight or during the wave, and you also don't get any of the money or XP at the end of the wave, so you're just going to kind of be nerfing yourself financially. Okay, range damage. We're never going to want this, so I'm actually just going to go ahead and ban it. I think there are 2 ways to utilize the ban system. Harvesting is great here. And one way is that you kind of just ban things that are completely useless that you get. And another way is that you ban specific tiers of items. So like all of these are tier 1, correct? Which means if we ban certain tier 1s, like if I were to ban this, I will never see this one again. This would be a different tier 1 item. So if you really like certain tiers of items, you can go ahead and try and ban that specific like tier. And that way you can target it in particular. More armor is going to be good from the helmet, so that you see more of the items you want from that exact tier. But generally speaking, a good rule is just kind of try to ban tier 2 items. I think banning tier 2 items is the most consistent because you're going to see them a lot, especially later in the run, and they tend to have more impact than obviously tier 1 items. There are also fewer of them, which means if you ban 8 tier 2 items, you're going to see a lot more of the ones you actually want to see. And there are just a lot of useless ones as well. So like if you ban the useless ones, it becomes a very, very easy way to get a lot of like strong items consistently that are not too expensive. Look how much money the trees gave us. They just gave us 96 materials. We'll take a chest here. That's good. More armor and a chainsaw. Okay, this is actually very bad because it scales with lifesteal and we have negative 100% lifesteal, so it's just terrible on us. I'm also going to take a celery tea. It's very early, which means this is going to get a lot of value. I would love to take this bag as well, but I'm not going to do it here. So like for example, this cog is very bad. We're never going to want to do engineering stuff, so banning this is completely fine. We just ban a tier 2 item and we keep going. I do think banning tier 1s is a bit of a waste. I did ban the range damage one that's offered, and there's a specific reason for that. And that reason is because there is a tree item, and that item is there's only one item in the game that makes trees spawn more often. It's the tree item, which is tier 1. So if we ban 8 tier 1 items, we have a lot higher chance of actually finding it. Well, I don't say a lot higher chance. We have a higher chance of finding it. And I'm not going to be like super sad if I don't see certain things. Also, these enemies have doubled health because I did take a celery tea. We got to keep that in mind. They're very tanky, and they're also very angry because some of them are getting the enrage buff from their teammates here. Okay, 151. Nice. More harvesting. I'll definitely take that. Now, armor or crit chance. I do like getting more damage. I think I'll just take the crit chance. And we get a claw upgrade. Go ahead and combine here and buy here. This way we keep all of our claws around the same level. We're being offered a bag and a metal detector. These are... Oh, wait, actually, I just realized we're offered a metal detector. That's not very good because we have reduced material drops by 50%. So this is actually half as effective as usual. So we should skip it. I think the bag is okay. We're not going to see as many crates because we're not actually breaking trees, but it's still a good pickup in my opinion because obviously you're going to see a lot of crates in 15 waves, like it's very early on. So we'll still see a lot of them. I could also take a cake for some more health. Fruit basket is interesting, but not interesting enough to buy. Crit chance could be good. Actually, no, we'll pass. We'll take an ugly tooth to reduce enemy movement speed and range attack speed, and then more enemy spawns. These are all great. So usually enemy spawns are your best friend, especially because, well, specifically because they give you a ton of money and XP, right? 5% more enemies is kind of just equivalent to 5% more money and XP, right? That's like in a perfect world, assuming you're actually, beating all of those extra enemies. But generally speaking, it's just a pure money increase, XP increase. You level up more, you get more stats, you get more money, you could spend it in the shop, right? Blah, blah. It's a very like nice way to just make yourself slightly stronger. In our case, it's actually half as effective as well. So it's technically only giving us 2.5% more money and XP. Because we have the negative 50% on our passive, which is why this passive is actually really bad for Endless, but it's completely fine for like a 20-wave run. It's not that big of a deal. All right, another 211. We get more crit chance. I will definitely take that. I do want to get this claw, so I'm going to go ahead and do that. I will take the item that spawns more enemies so we can get the money, and an ugly tooth to reduce enemy movement speed. Crit chance minus armor. This is completely fine. We could take this. I'm like tempted to take a peaceful bee, but I know we shouldn't. And move speed minus range. That's also okay. We do have such low range that reducing it any further is kind of an issue, but at the same time, as long as we play well, it's not really an issue. So we just have to make sure we're not, intentionally walking into enemies or something, and try to pay attention to the more dangerous enemies in each wave. It's like in this one, these viperfish that are running at us, we just want to make sure we don't let them get too close to us. Again, our range is very small, so we have to be very like particular with our movement. But it's not that difficult, right? You can see I'm just kind of like hovering around the edge of the map here and letting my attacks get rid of them. This walrus is the biggest issue here, if anything, and he's gone. So there you go. Now it's a lot easier to just stay safe here. I'm trying to stay on this left side of the map just because it's easy to maneuver over here, and this way I'll never hit a tree, right? Because I'm not getting near them. We're almost through. All right, 220 materials, pretty good. Now we could take more armor. I would say armor is very good. Dodge is amazing as well. Attack speed is unnecessary. I'm going to take the armor. And then here we want to get something a little better than this. Maybe another tier 3 upgrade, potentially. Or dodge. We'll take some dodge. We want to get our dodge up to the cap. It's only at 21% out of 70 right now. Take some move speed, take some crit. And we can't actually afford this right now, but that's okay. We're not going to take a ball and chain. Limiting your attack speed on your weapons is really bad because our weapon actually scales with attack speed. So if we were to do this, it would be terrible. You can see they actually attack really quickly every 0.69 seconds. Or accurate. Melee damage could be okay, but I don't really want to lose harvesting right now. I don't want to lose max HP. Claw upgrade is good, and more movement speed will be nice as well. I would definitely take some range here. Our weapons are so low range, even if we get another like 50 range, it's not going to make it that more likely that we hit trees. They're just, it's impossible. It's not happening. So if we get some range, it'll just help us play a little bit safer. This is especially true for bosses because some of the bosses are going to bully us, just straight up. They're going to bully us if we do not have enough range, and they have a lot of range. So it's going to be really difficult to avoid certain attacks, really difficult to like actually just consistently hit them. So if we can get a range upgrade, I'll take it. We get a range item, I'll also take it. That's also why I'm going to be taking the banner here in a second. I think the range on it is very good, and the attack speed is actually just kind of fine. I wouldn't say it's amazing, but it's fine. Attack speed is not our favorite stat because we get it from dodging. So we'd rather just get like a lot of healing, for example, from like HP regen or like armor, health, those kind of things. HP regen elemental, but we lose move speed. See, this is a good tier 2 item that we can ban because we don't really want to see this again. Reroll and move speed. There we go. We get some move speed. Always try to take like higher value things. So that was a tier 3 upgrade, right? It's just straight up just better than a tier 2 upgrade. So we definitely want to take that because we do want speed, right? We might want armor, we might want dodge, we might this, that, right? But like the highest upgrade that we also want is including, the speed. So we take that and we're happy. Damage minus range. We are losing so much range, but I feel like I should do it. I'm also going to take you, I guess. Combine these claws. Fish hook. I mean, we could take a fish hook. You know what? I'm going to pass. We've been playing a lot of our runs with the fish hook, so I think you guys have a generally good idea of like how to play with it. If you haven't watched any of my videos before and this is your first time, well, Fishhook is very good. You can just curse items, which can make them 50 to 110% stronger. That is a big deal, especially if you get it on one of your weapons. Generally, the best curse you can get is just cursing a weapon, because it's almost like putting two weapons into one. If you get a cursed one, it's very strong. So instead of having like a 6 weapon limit, if you have 12 6 cursed weapons, it's like you have 12 regular weapons in your inventory, which is obviously just, yeah, incredibly strong. Also, I'm going to go ahead and get rid of one of these guys because they're spawning too many people that I can't handle. Not that it's like they're like injuring me or making it possible for us to die or anything, but they're just kind of making a mess of the map. There are too many eggs on the floor. Okay, now we're good. So yeah, we are going to skip the fish hook, like I said. But yeah, if you wanted to use it, basically what you do is you roll, you leave the shop locked with a couple of good items every time, and then you hopefully get something cursed eventually. 12% dodge, that's exactly what we want. So we want to get dodge capped. That is step number 1. More damage minus range. We are losing all of our range. Recycling machine is good. This is very early. It'll definitely pay for itself. It's so cheap right now. And by the time we get to these elite waves over here, we'll be able to recycle the items for a lot of money and get our money back immediately. Okay, go ahead and reroll a bit. This is a decent ban, the eye patch. And let's see. We could also ban this. We're never taking this. I'm just going to ban a bunch of tier 2 items, like I said. I think I'll also ban the pocket factory. A claw, nice, and another claw here. That's huge. One more roll. And nothing. GG. Alright, we keep going. So yeah, fish hook, like for example there, if I had the fish hook, I maybe would have just locked the claw that I just picked up. Just lock them all, right? Lock up to like 3 to 4 items if you can. That is perfect, right? You just lock 3 to 4 items every shop when you have a fish hook. You have a chance to curse them. If you fail, you get a huge boost on the next chance to curse because you get a pity chance for failing the curse. And then you just do it again every shop, like over and over and over. And you should end your run with quite a few cursed items just by doing that. Even one single fish hook can make the run very easy just by cursing a few things for you. It does mean you have to face a bunch of cursed enemies as well, though. So there is obviously some form of what's the word? Consequence. There are some consequences for doing a cursed run as well. So we're just going to do a typical run here. No curse chance involved. Actually, I think we have 0 curse, right? Yeah, look, we have 0 curse stat currently, which means that it is pretty much impossible for us to die because none of the enemies are going to get a damage boost like they would if they were cursed in this case. Alright, 411 is pretty good. More dodge, that's perfect. That's what we need. We could also take some luck. It's still pretty early, and luck is a great scaling stat. Take the claw. Damage minus attack speed. This is actually pretty good for us. I generally dislike this item, and I think it's quite bad most of the time. But in our case, we get a bunch of attack speed because every time we dodge, we actually gain attack speed during the wave. So I'm going to go ahead and pick that up. It's obviously not permanent attack speed, but it's still very good. I could also ban a tier 1 item like a mutation. I'm just going to do that. So now we have a slightly higher chance of finding the tree item. More range and attack speed, sure. Melee damage and max HP. I would love to get some more max HP, definitely. And a claw. And a lifesteal HP regen. We don't want that. Lifesteal and HP regen are normally stats you want at least one of, or like somewhat of both. But in our case, we don't really want either, because HP regen comes from just leaving the trees alive. As long as we don't hit our trees, they are giving us HP regen. So we have 0 HP regen, yes? But if I click escape and we look, I actually have 6 currently, right? So I'm healing a bit, and if we get a ton of armor and dodge cap, like 70% dodge, plus a bunch of armor, that is plenty of healing. Every tree is giving us 3 HP regen. So as of right now, you see there are 4 trees. We should have 12 HP regen, and we do 12 HP regen. So you kind of just get tankier as the wave goes on, as long as you don't break your trees. Like I said, that was step number 1, right? First thing I mentioned in this video: don't touch the trees. Leave them alone. Okay, we have 20 seconds left here. I see a loot crate. Is this like our first loot crate in 10 years? I think it is. I'll take it. I will absolutely take that. So loot alien spawning is great for us. They can be a little bit difficult to hunt down. We could put it that way. I do think if you would if you only had to trade like, let's say, 1 tree for a loot alien loot crate, you should do it. Gimme. That was massive. I actually got it. All right, we get some crit chance. That's good, and we get speed minus luck. I don't really love this. I think it's too early to start losing luck because we're very early in our run, right? I could take some attack speed, I could take max HP. I kind of want to reroll, but at the same time, I think I'll just take the attack speed because it's a good upgrade. It's not the best. It's probably the worst at damage that we could get. Damage percent's better, attack speed, or sorry, crit chance is better. Even melee damage is kind of better. I think I'll take this here, and we'll take a claw upgrade, and we'll take some harvesting. It's kind of awkward taking this right before a boss because we're losing damage, but it does scale like immediately. It'll give us 40 money, like 40 materials and 40 materials and then also experience at the end of the wave. So I want to take it now. Max HP and melee damage minus attack speed. That's perfect for us. Good. And then anything else. Crit chance could be good. And we're out of money. So we just go. Okay, here we go. We're up against the boss and it is the spider crab. They shouldn't be that bad. Also, we can kind of intentionally take damage, but we need to make sure we're not getting hit by the bigger enemies, the ones that deal a lot of damage. You want to get hit by the small enemies because those are the ones that are going to make it so you barely take damage when you get hit, but then you still get the attack speed boost for dodging, potentially. But obviously, if we're low HP like we currently are, then you don't want to just sit there and take a bunch of damage. Oh, I just killed the Gobbler. The Gobbler is the interesting enemy. It has a 3% chance to spawn every wave. And when it spawns, it kind of just goes around and eats up all the money on the ground that you have. And if you don't kill it in time, it actually takes it permanently. But if you let it eat the money, it does multiply the money as well. Oh, I killed a tree because it spawned right under me. Unlucky. Well, at least the tree gifted us with the loot crate. So I'm going to say that was worth it. And technically, it's kind of, I would say it's actually kind of worth it to break. If you have a lot of luck, that is. It's kind of worth it to break a tree to try to get a loot crate each wave. More dodge minus armor. We'll definitely take that because we don't have enough dodge yet. We are not doing a ricochet build. We do not have any projectiles. So this is quite bad. We're going to go to recycle and 20 luck. Nice. So yeah, the way it works is trees have 20% chance to give loot crates if we have 53 luck. It increases that by 53%. So it's 20 times 1.53. Right? So as of right now, we essentially have about a 30% chance of getting a loot crate every time we break a tree. And then it cuts in half because once you get one, the chance gets reduced by half. So it'll go from like 30 to 15% and then a 15 to 7.5 and it keeps going down. We could take luck and dodge. I'm happy with that. And we don't even care about lifesteal at all. So it's perfect for us. Go ahead and reroll. Treasure map, extra, oh my god, 20% chance to find an extra item in a crate. We'll definitely take that too. I could take this melee damage, but I don't think it's really worth it. It's so expensive. Mouse for more enemy spawns and lifesteal. I think 10% enemies, even though we don't really get the full value, we only get like half the value, I still feel like it's worth it. Because it's so early, this should definitely pay for itself. And we're just going to go. Actually, we could take a stone skin. This will give us a lot of max HP, which means instead of taking max HP in the future, if we ever have the chance, we should just take armor instead. Right? That's kind of what that means. At some point, you stacked so much armor that... Oh, I want to leave him alive. As the Gobbler, he spawned again, 3% into 3... What are the odds on that? I feel like this happens so often. Like, he'll spawn once, and then in the next wave, he immediately spawns again. It's kind of insane how that works. I mean, I know it's like random chance, but having 2-3% isolated events occur back-to-back still feels pretty lucky. Anyways, I just completely sidetracked myself because I like lucky stuff, or I like nice numbers. Statistics are fun. I want to get him in a second, but I don't want to get him quite yet. He is running away though, so I may have to hunt him down through the trees. Yeah, unfortunately. Oh, please don't do this. Don't hide in the trees. I need to get him. Okay, there we go. Yeah, because he takes a lot of our money. It is worth getting him down, even if we have to break a couple trees, unfortunately. There's a loot crate. I can't get it in time. No. I'm a sad boy. It's okay. We'll take some move speed. Now we have 19%. Pretty good. We'll take the stone skin. We have a claw here in the shop. Nice. Another claw. Armor and max HP. Perfect for us. And some damage is also going to be pretty good. And I'm going to roll one time here. Okay, we're getting offered a shady potion. I almost want to take that. It's like tempting. It is tempting. I think it's still early enough. And the other thing that's going to make me... push me over the edge to make a decision, not to jump off a bridge, is going to be... I don't know why that came to mind, but it just came to mind. Anyways, the thing that's going to make me like finalize my decision on picking up the shady potion, I think, is going to be whether or not I can buy every item in the shop at the same time. Because when you can buy all items in a shop together and you empty the shop, right, you get a free reroll. And that's easily worth it if you can just do it casually, like without any effort. Like, I'm just going to get a slightly discounted fourth item in a sense, right? Because my next shop will be free, my next shop reroll. So it's a pretty big discount as well if you're rerolling a lot. We're not making very much money, unfortunately, because we didn't get any of the tree item, which feels, I want to say a little unlucky. But like generally, you would actually get quite a few of them. And then you might even have like 2 times as many trees spawning as I do. Can I get the loot crate? Nice, easy peasy. All right, what do we get? Salt water. I'm actually going to recycle it because I want the money. It's not that I don't necessarily want this, but I want the money more. Attack speed, I'll just take it. I don't want to reroll. I'm going to save my money for the shop so I can buy everything here. Okay, so like 1, 2, 3, and 4. Boom. And then we get a free reroll just like that. We can roll again. We could take some armor. I wouldn't mind taking armor here, I think. And then another mouse is being offered. This one is a little bit late, to be honest. I'm not as confident about this mouse, but I do still think I will take it. I wish I could have taken it here, because we're going into a horde wave, which means there are going to be a lot of enemies spawning. And having 10% more enemies in a horde wave would mean that we probably pay off the mouse really quickly. I genuinely don't even know if it's going to pay itself off, though, if I buy it next wave. Maybe I should just skip it. It'll give 10% more enemies, so like if we... it's so hard to say. It really is so hard to say. Also, it feels like we're not dropping any money. This is crazy. Yeah, we still only... Look, we have 100 materials in a horde wave. We're so far into the horde wave already. Only 26 seconds left in the wave, and we still only have 100 materials. That is absolutely nothing. Wow. Okay. Okay, maybe I just shouldn't buy the mouse then. The mouse is not going to pay itself off, I don't think. Because you can kind of think about it this way. Whatever amount of money we have, assume best case scenario is we have 5% more if we had the mouse. So we would have like 5% more, whatever we're going to have here in a second, which is 370. Yeah, it was 370. This massive jump up was because of our passive. The trees, right, give us money at the end of the wave. But we only had 370. 5% of that would be about 18. Yeah, the mouse is not going to pay itself off. We'll take a tentacle. So we can kill enemy with a critical hit. We get some healing. More armor. Yes. And I think I want to take max HP, but I also want to reroll. So let's reroll. 4 armor, that's beautiful. It also gives us max HP, don't forget. More armor, crit and dodge, a bag. We are not dodge capped, keep that in mind. Treasure map is a little late, but I will actually take it still. More damage, more armor. Let's see. Reduced enemy movement speed, nice. And a fairy. This is surprisingly good. Also, we are not fully crit capped, but if I take the fairy, I think I'm going to want to take a goat skull. It'll give 3 melee damage, plus it'll give 1 HP regen, which may not seem impactful, but I mean, if you can just get 1 copy and like slightly, just slowly add up all of the random 1 HP regens through the fairy, it can end up making a pretty big impact on your healing, like your overall healing, especially like in our case where we got, I don't want to say we got unlucky. This is not unlucky, but we didn't get a single tree item. And the tree item is like the favorite item on this character. Is a tier 1 item. It's not that hard to find technically. So finding not a single one in 20 waves is pretty rare, actually, I would say. But again, not unlucky, just kind of like a rare occurrence. And it doesn't necessarily mean we're going to have like a way worse chance of winning the run. It just means we have less healing than usual because we don't have as many trees giving us HP regen. We only have 28 currently. If you had like 2 tree items in the run, you could maybe have like 40 HP regen at this point. Like that's how big of a difference there is between how many trees spawn. You also get way more money because you get all of the trees alive at the end of the wave, right? And you get a bunch of HP regen, or sorry, XP and material. All right, it's about 500. It's pretty good. We'll recycle this. Recycle. Reroll. That is dodge cap. 70%. There you go. Beautiful. Now we could take the fairy. We can take a broken mouth. We could take you. Combine here, buy, and we get a free reroll. Very nice. Speed minus luck. I actually don't mind this now. It's late enough in the run that I'm okay with taking it, and then I will reroll once. We get a claw, which is nice. And now we are against the prisoner. So, I mean, there's not much to think about. Just kind of stand near him and try to hit him. He does a little very slow-moving cage thing in phase 1. This is phase 2. He's doing like a little circle around us. Phase 3 is going to start running at us in a second, so we got to be somewhat careful. He's like a little bit dangerous, right? You don't want to just tank the boss like 100%. You can kind of tank him, but you don't want to tank it like full on, let him stand on you and deal constant ticks of like 20 damage. That's a bit much. And boss down. There we go. Okay, easy. So yeah, like we've definitely gotten to the point in the run where we have scaled and we're very strong. And again, this is like without a single tree item. I've had a run, I believe, where I had like 6 tree items or 7 tree items on the cryptid, which is obviously that's lucky. But I think the average is probably closer to just getting like 2 to 3 of them throughout your run. So getting 0 is somewhat rare, like I said. All right, 500, pretty good. This gives a lot of damage, technically, but it also gives a lot of money if I recycle it. So I'm going to recycle it. Dodge, we don't need anymore. We'll take some crit chance. We're not crit capped fully. We get some claws. Nice. We can combine. We get an adrenaline, which is a really good item on our character. Now, every time we dodge, we have a 50% chance to heal 5 HP. This is like one of the best combos on this character. Penguin gives 2 HP regen. It's kind of a waste, though. I think I'll go ahead and pass. I would take the Pearl, but I think it's a little bit late. I guess we can. It's very expensive for what it does because it's late. But if we had gone earlier, it would have been amazing. Roll one more time here, and I don't want to spend any more money, so we're just going to stop. We're going to get one more claw upgrade, so we get a tier 4. And then we're just going to have one last claw that isn't fully upgraded. Hopefully we can get it fully upgraded. That would be nice. Also, I could let these guys hatch. You see this little guy on my bottom left? Can I point at him with my mouse? Yeah, look, he's right here. Look at him. He's right here, right? He's moving. Look, I'm observing a stargazer in its natural habitat. Look, it's in the pod. I'm getting the photo shoot for, what's it called? What's it called? National Geographic? Yeah, and then, oh, look, guys, it hatched. It came out of its egg, right? So this giant guy, he deals a bunch of damage, and he's usually scary. But in our case, we're so tanky, it's impossible to take damage even from these guys. Honestly, we just instantly heal it off. And if you kill them, they can sometimes drop massive chunks of money, which obviously on our character is still kind of less efficient because we have 50% reduced material drops. But it's still good, like if you know you can handle the big guys that spawn out, you could just go ahead and let them spawn, and then you get some extra money, potentially, right? It could be good. All right, 550 is not bad. We're getting offered attack speed. I'll just go ahead and take it. I think crit chance would be the best, but I don't want to roll too much. Go ahead and take this. They're being offered a goldfish as well, but I really just want to get my items. Oh, tree! Look! The first tree item this entire run. I'm going to take it, but that is so late. Oh my god. Yeah, look, more tree spawn tier 1 item. The only item that increases tree spawns without being cursed. That is, there are other items that can give you more tree spawns if they're cursed, but this is the only natural one. So it's generally one of your favorite items, but as you can see, sometimes you don't get any of them. It happens. Hopefully you get at least 1 or 2 in your early game, and you're just going to have a nice, smooth run. You get a bunch of extra money and experience throughout the entire run from just getting 1 of this item, or 2, you know. If you get 3, you're already really happy. Anything past 3 is crazy. Like, if you end up... I don't think I've ever seen double-digit tree items in a run. That would be absurdly lucky. That has to be crazy rare. But, like, if you get, like, even 5, that's really lucky, too. So, yeah. Anyways, English is hard. As I was trying to say, if you see a tree item, pick it up. Okay, that's all I have to say about it. Pick up every tree item you see in the early game. You can also target ban a bunch of tier 1 items to increase the chance you find it. That is okay too. But generally speaking, just banning like tier 1 and tier 2 items is completely fine. You don't have to like fully focus on that. It's just a strategy if you would like to do it. It can be effective if you're trying to tree max, you know. But you clearly don't need it to win, as you can see in my run. All right, we get a coupon for cheaper items. I'll actually take that. Attack speed. I would like to get crit chance here. Nice, perfect. Okay, so now we should have almost 100%. Yes, we do. Huge. Okay, also, we just got a tier 3 claw. Wait, if we get a tier 1... Wait, please? Please, one time. No, don't do this. Come on. Oh, it's getting expensive. No. Oh, I'm sad. Okay, well, we had to give up on the dream. I was trying to go for a tier 1 claw because then we could have bought in it, combine this one, and then combine that one, and we would have had a tier 4 in the end. So it seems like we're not going to be... Yep, there it is. Look, this is what I was looking for. It would have been too expensive even if we found it in that last reroll. Okay, well, I hope you guys enjoyed. That is the Cryptid. Yeah, wait, oh my god. That is the Cryptid. So yeah, hope you guys enjoyed. This is our final build. We have 6 claws. All of them were not cursed, or none of them were cursed, I guess. And then here are our final stats. We have dodge cap, of course, crit cap, and then we also had a bunch of health and armor. Okay, but yeah, if you enjoyed this, maybe leave a like, comment, or subscribe. It helps out a lot. You can also click join below to join my YouTube membership. But yeah, let's go. No more delay. Wave 20. All right, shouldn't be too difficult. We need to try and get hit a bit so we can actually dodge and increase our attack speed with our passive. We're just going to focus on the eel. It doesn't really matter if we focus on the whale first in this run or in this wave. We can just handle either of them pretty easily, so there's no difference. Okay, he mutated, so he's going to start walking towards me a little bit here. Trying to focus on hitting him directly as much as I can. The whale has joined in. 20 seconds passed, he mutated. That's one boss down. Now it's just me versus the whale. I'll have him move up/down so you guys can see him more easily. He's just moving up vertically like this. There you go. There's so many enemies spawning. I'm just tanking everything without taking any damage. I've been full health the entire fight, pretty much. I'm trying to intentionally take more damage to increase my attack speed as well. And that's 2 bosses down. GG. Easy run. Alright, here are all of our items at the end of the run. Sadly, we only had 1 tree item, and we got it on wave 18, so very late. But yeah, that is the Cryptid. Next time, we will be playing the Fisherman. This character is absolutely insane. You guys should definitely come watch this video if you are interested. And yeah, if you look to the left, you'll see a recommendation for another video of mine if you want to click it in the top left. Bottom left is a Brotato playlist, and on the right, you can click the profile picture and click subscribe if you would like to watch more of my content. Okay, goodbye for now. See you in the Fisherman video. Bye-bye.